Have you ever asked yourself, are my controls set up the best way for me to get the most wins? What up, Pub Nation? This is Pimpin' Patty here. Today I'm going to go over why your controls should be set up just like this. Alright, first I'm going to go over a right-handed control setup. And I'm also going to go over the principles I use when deciding my control setup. First off, I want to clear the middle of the screen because I want to use the middle of the screen for viewing opponents. Now you'll see right here I'm starting to stack certain things up against the left side of the screen. These are what I consider to be the key movements: run, crouch, lay, and jump. Now, the reason I chose this order over run, jump, crouch, or lay, because you want to be systematical in everything you do, makes it easier to remember where the buttons are at, is because I like run and jump, the first button and the last button, so they're very easy for me to hit. So now my key movements are to one side, and you'll see I'm putting everything shoot related to the right side. This creates my left hand as my movement hand and my right hand as my shoot hand. This means everything to do with movements is on the left side, everything to do with shoot is on the right side. That way I know my tasks for my hands. It makes it easier to work that way. So you might be wondering how I came to the conclusion that if you're right-handed, your left hand is your movement hand and your right hand is your shoot hand. The reason being that your left hand has less motor skills in it. The movements are easier to pull off. Your right hand, which has all your motor skills, you're going to use to aim as quick as possible and shoot as quick as possible. It requires more motor skills because this you want to do quick and as accurate as you can. So I'm going to go ahead and post your left-handed too. It's basically the same thing but backwards. But I'll post it here. And then me, I do one-handed. So I'll post that real quick. It's the same thing as left-handed, but I put my key movements on the left side as well. So, now, let's go ahead and see this controls in action. First I want to show you my jump. This is one of the very few times where I actually do use two hands. You're going to see me choose Pashinki, and then I'm going to turn my player to the left, and as soon as the yellow dotted line lines up with the point of that little white arrow off the edge of your guy is when I jump. So I'm going to jump and do a diagonal jump, try to get to the ground as soon as possible and beat everybody else. You can see one guy I pass up here using the diagonal technique. So then, once I get down to the ground, let's go over what I'm doing. First things first, need a weapon. So I take off. Now you notice I've locked the sprint. You'll see my pointer finger is the one I'm looking left to right with, and my middle finger is my shoot finger. At all times, I am ready to hit the trigger. Now, what makes this technique better than any other technique out there is you'll notice no matter how fast I'm running around or what I'm doing, my middle finger will stay over the trigger as I'm running and moving left to right. Now, something I had to do to make this possible was go ahead and move my sensitivity up to 300. You can gradually move your sensitivity up a little bit at a time. A good place to do that would be the apartments at Pollyanna. Get used to running in and out of those little rooms. It helps a lot. But honestly, from the first time I played on an iPad, I went from 100 to 300. Wasn't that hard. So now I'm using my pointer finger to look around, but the entire time my middle finger is ready to shoot. When you get into these one-on-one gun battles, every split second counts. Whatever's going to give me the advantage to help me get my bullets out of my gun faster and more accurately is what I'm going to do. That's why my pointer finger looks around and my middle finger hits the trigger. I can't emphasize that enough. That's going to help you win those close-up one-on-one gun battles. Also, remember, test the hip-fire range on each of your guns. See how far you can hip-fire from. That's going to become a huge thing. That's one more step you don't have to do in these close-up one-on-ones if you know what your hip-fire range is. Now, I'm only going to come across one opponent here, I do believe. So when I get to that opponent, I'm going to show you something real quick. Right now, I'm just looting. Now, if you notice, the one-handed Pimpin' Patty challenge, my sprint is locked the whole time. I do that during gunfights in houses and everything. It works out pretty good for me because I'm the only one that does it, so I'm used to this unorthodox motion that everybody else hasn't seen before. So I'm an advantage in a house when I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off because I'm used to doing it, and you're not used to seeing it. So you'll see me see an opponent right here. Now, watch how I just barely tap on my trigger. That is how you should hit your trigger 99.9% of the time. If you do that, it's going to immediately increase your accuracy tenfold. It will also help you get way better at hip firing. I can hip fire long distances by fluttering that trigger. You'll notice anytime you're watching a pro, they always flutter on that trigger. They're never holding it down. The only time I hold it down is if I'm in a 1v1 and we're real close to each other and I'm already getting shot. And it's kind of like that Hail Mary type deal. Now, like in this clip here, you'll notice that I run to the corner and I crouch down. And I've been doing that periodically throughout the whole video. What I'm doing is I'm listening for footsteps. If I can hear footsteps, I'm just going to run and jump out of this building. And I'm going to attack them. Because now I know where they're at and they don't know where I'm at. Guys, I hope the control setup, the sound whoring, the how to steer and have your other finger on that trigger at all times helps you get more kills. Thank you, Pub Nation, for watching my video. If this video was helpful to you, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. Until next time, Pub Nation, see you later.